destiny pyramid for your clients. Let's get into it. We're bringing in the Zoom. Bringing in the Zoom. Bringing in the Zoom. Bringing in the Zoom. Okay. Well, good morning, good evening, what to do? How are you? Hootie hoo. Happy Wednesday too. I am the sound of money in your ear, dollar Avant. That's still double O. I'm often imitated, never duplicated. They call me the $1 billion babe, aka the pitch queen, aka the people's coach, aka Coach Dollar Bill. And you are in the dollhouse. This is the home of high value entrepreneurs. Over here, it is day number 49 of this 100-day challenge. I wanted to like pop a bottle tomorrow, but I'm not. But we almost made it to halfway through this 100-day challenge. You guys, 49 days in the new year. How many people do you know that has already fallen off? They just already just floating. They're already in the next drama. They already caught up. All that New Year energy is gone. It's not even the New Year. Do you know we're headed towards New Year? You know, we just now ended on the Chinese calendar. They just got through it. Whatever last year was, a snake year or something. And then the New Year for real is like the end of, with the spring equinox. But anyway, whoever controls your time controls your energy, controls your life. So just saying. But it's day 49. And on today, we are going to, y'all, is this bad? I don't think so. I'm very clear on who I serve. Like, I don't have time. I need people to feel comfortable being free. So somebody got in the, I don't mean no harm. For those of you who are streaming, shout out to y'all. If you're on social media, all the love. Watch me do whatever you want to do on social media. But these private spaces that I'm curating are for copper-skinned people, melanated people who have gone through. There's a certain level of things that we've gone through, the capitalism has done to us, okay? And so I had to remove somebody from the Dollhouse 2.0. I'm like, you ain't on this side of this. I'm sorry, I can't. I don't mean no harm. Anyway, this is a private space for us, by us. Why? Because capitalism was not built for us, it was built on us. So we gotta move a little different. We gotta be able to have, a private conversation. The dollhouse is like if we were all at the house, the backyard, and on the deck. If y'all were out here with me and we were having a barbecue, just chilling, there would be certain things that we can't say in front of company. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to keep it curated if I can. I don't know how it's gonna work with millions of people. I don't know what I'm doing, but we're gonna figure it out. But in the inside the private group, I'm doing my best. So on today, how y'all feel? First of all, the feelings, the feelings that we feel. Apparently I quote a song at least once a day, so that's fine. And also we have a t-shirt ministry, so y'all keep up when I say stuff. It's like, oh, we need to somebody write that down. Okay. But it is day 49 of this 100-day challenge. I want to make sure that I give you that through line. We want to keep finding our clarity, finding our voice. People are sending me messages. People are inside. People are watching replays on YouTube, and all types of things are happening. So this is exciting for me. It's momentum. But we're about to hit that halfway point. And so if you've been doing the work, you should now start to have, or at least have a pathway towards real clarity on your worldview, your identity, your beliefs. You should be strengthening your relationship with your intuition every day. There should be no gap. When intuition speaks, you should just be moving. You know what I mean? Like normalize that. We are now, we got access to it. If y'all want the course, I'll drop the link in a little bit, but you should now be able to really leverage social media as a tool to start to build like let's call it an engine, like a brand engine. You know what I'm saying? So you can get some visibility, but more importantly, turn that into authority, create connection with people, and create a pathway to generate cash flow. Okay. Because people, if you do social media correctly, people will already feel like they know you. By the time you get to the one-on-one call, or by the time it gets to, you're making an offer, it's not like you don't have to do the work. They already know you. They already rocking with you. It's like, oh yeah, this is what we're doing. Cool. Like that's what it's supposed to feel like. Money's supposed to flow like water. That's why they call it currency. I'm telling you right now. So y'all be thinking I just making up stuff. And then from time to time, I'll see somebody else. I'll be like, this is what I'm saying. And this is what capitalism has done to us. Because if somebody who looked like these people had said it to y'all would have been like, ooh, this is amazing. I said it to y'all, you're like, that was so funny. Look, she just talking. I'm telling you, this is how money works. So we're getting in position now where I feel like you guys are building the capacity where you could show up on social media and like do the thing. Because you're going to see people going to be hitting you up and be like, who is this person? I don't know where these people coming from. That's what it's about. Money. It's energy. It's supposed to flow. You know what I'm saying? Do you really think the owner of Nike and Netflix and these people who make albums, we don't know who all these people are? If you know everybody that's writing you a check, unless you charge $100,000 or more for your product, you are limiting yourself. Okay. Now, if you had like the world's most ridiculous new technology and you were in secret rooms and 15 people and they're gonna pay you $17 million a year to do this and that, that's different, But I'm talking about most products or services, you're gonna get to the point where a lot more people know who you are and know your value and are sharing your narrative than you know them. That's the point. It goes one to one. That's level one. That's your net. That's your motion, get in motion. Then level two, one to many. That's your network. Take your net, put it with my net, and let's see, can we work together to create something? So now I can get on a platform, social media, public stages, and speak to humans, one to many, and still have people want to lean in and walk with me. And then level three is many to many. That's your network effects. That's our momentum. So motion, second level is momentum. Then we get to our mastery. This is when I'm not in the room, but somebody else is sharing my narrative when I'm not there. Like I got people coming into, because you have to fill out the little thing when you come into the school. And it's like, where did you hear about? And they'd be like, a friend, Instagram. I'm like, who are you? I don't know. And that's a good thing. That's what you want. You want your narrative outpacing you. That's what you call long money. Long money. Okay. That's where we're headed. So ultimately, we're going to build this machine, a momentum machine that makes your growth inevitable. So we started to lay the foundation. That is this clarity. You must have clarity. If you don't have it, let's go back and get it. Let me share the resource link with you guys. And then I'll share the link for the new course. If you are interested, you just need to drop something in the Cash App. Just do that. And there's a place in there to put a note if you like, dog, ... You have a narrative that you want to share along with your deposit or whatever. You could do that in there. Okay, so that is our resource link. This is how we're going to, everything I reference is in there. And then let me make sure I put this so that when people come in later, I'll just post it again. Hold on. Where is it? There we go. Boom. So this is the new course. I actually am proud of this landing page, because another thing that I'm doing is I'm overcoming people's challenges. They're like, oh, I can't afford all these services and, to pay for all this stuff. You don't have to do that. No, I made this for free, partly with AI, in about an hour last night while on another phone call. And I made a landing page. And then it's going to a form that's also free. So I'm not even using Stripe. I mean, I have Stripe and all that, but I'm not even using that. I'm trying to show everybody you can literally pretty much $0 and some clarity and an internet connection. Get out here, start building community, make some money. That's what I need for people to start doing. So anyway, there's that, because somebody's going to come in later and ask me for the what's going on here? Ask me for the link, and I want to make sure y'all have it. Okay. Okay. Well, it's not working for me on my streaming, but y'all look for a link somewhere, send me a message, or look at my bio. We'll do something. You'll find it. Okay. So anyway, you have the engine or the beginning of that, and you know what momentum feels like and looks like. Some people are making the shift. You heard Makai yesterday. That's the sound of money. That's the sound of a shift. And it happens for different ones of us at different points in time. Like I said, y'all don't know. I get the messages. I get the phone calls. I get the DMs. There's people who don't come on here at 2:00. They go and watch the replay. They don't come on Thursday, but they're following. They're listening to the WhatsApp. They're like, I'm catching up. I'm back. I was da-da-da. This was happening. That was happening. And There's a moment that happens where you make the shift. And it's like, oh, we're here now. Oh, things are different now. I'm just telling you, you're over there, but keep doing the work. And after a while, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm here now. Like, it's just different. Okay. The energy in my house is different. I've been pulling some family members along. There's some people that are like, this is foreign. Money is a foreign language, by the way. It's foreign to them. I'm like, illusion is or lack is an illusion. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got this. I don't know what we're gonna do. We got to take care of mama's house and got to do this. Everybody calm down. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, you supposed to get upset to match the level of the size of the problem. And I'm like, no. We make money with our minds. What are you talking about? Blah, 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 blah. 6 months now. They beat me doing it. They beat me because they see that it works. If you shift your nervous system, do not focus and give your emotional energy to what you don't have, what you don't like, what you wish I can't figure out why. I'm still struggling, and I just feel, and I just wish, and I wish somebody would come, and I need some help, and I don't know, and I don't understand, and I thought that I could have, and I trusted the wrong person, and I believed and I just feel so bad, and I don't know why I can't just. You're literally creating that. But you're like, but this is how I feel. I know. And I'm telling you, the number one job is to change how you feel. Shift it. Focus on something else. Just do not allow your emotions and the state of your nervous system to align with anything that you do not desire. I'm not saying that it's easy, but it is that simple. That's the battle. That's the fight. Every day. Every day. Shout out to Tish. She put that in the school, in the thing, in the little chat. She said, every day. I want you to hear me in your head. You're supposed to be doing this every freaking day. And then from that place, now you get to go and be great. Now you get to go and be creative. Now you get to go and like do all the things that you're supposed to be doing for your business and come up with these new ideas and go into your meetings and all that kind of stuff from a place of safety. I feel great. A place of abundance. I have what I need. We don't have any problems. Everything is everything. Now, guess what you're doing? You're going to tap into your zone of genius. All of a sudden, your brain starts flowing, your ideas start flowing, people start reacting to you differently. Y'all, I got an email on today. This morning, I'm minding my business. What list am I on? That's a real question. I mean, obviously, but like seriously, this morning, they're like, hey, they're based out of Toronto, I believe. So they own like a bunch of wastewater plants and whatever. And they're like, yes, we're interested in purchasing Aquagenuity. Would you be open to start the conversation? I'm sorry, what? We like to work closely with our acquisition targets so that you still maintain. Like they're offering to purchase my company. Okay. These are the phone calls that I get. Your phone will ring differently. Your emails will get different. You get invited to different places. You start hanging out with different people. You'll have different conversations when you make the shift. You must. There's nothing else. You have to shift. You have to. Everything I'm talking about is over here. You can't be over there. If you're just over there listening to me talk, you're here to be entertained. I don't want to entertain you. I don't want to inform you. I want you to have a transformation. It's not information. Transformation. Okay? So here's what I know about entrepreneurs and where most of us are. You kind of got a sense of who you want to serve. If you went through that exercise, that was the point. I put the links there because the what is it called on there? It's called Start Your Engines. You'll see that link. All those pretty colorful slides that I did. Go back and audit yourself. Who are you serving? What's your worldview? What do you believe? What's your identity? How are you aligning? How are you showing up for people? And that's going to give you your elevator pitch, and everything is built off of that. So once you get that level of clarity, here's what comes next. And most my clients, my students, folks, especially in college, but I find that we never grow out of this. They don't get clarity around, okay, so therefore, based on who I want to help, what do I need to be offering and selling them? And that is because they don't have a very clear picture of where your clients are currently, where they are now, and where they're going. So it still turns into you just kind of talking to everybody. Like everybody who has this kind of problem or this kind of need or this kind of, characteristic, you think you're talking to them. And what did we say the other day? When you are talking to everybody, even everybody in your field, everybody who wants to learn this new skill, everybody who wants to eat healthier, everybody who wants to you're still connecting to nobody because it's still too vague. Okay. So I'm going to show you the difference today. Instead of being generic, if you want to lose weight, it's still too vague. New moms who want to lose weight. That's getting a little closer, and I'll tell you why. Okay. Your offer can't land unless it meets people where they are. So there's a specific place on the journey of transformation from when I started out, I didn't know nothing, all the way to my life is totally different. I'm amazed. I'm amazing, and all is well. There are steps along that journey. And so you can't sell people on a solution before you've helped them identify the problem. And the people who do this and like aggressively do this, they actually make money significantly more easily. It's more easy for them to make money than it is for most people. Okay. That's why I keep emphasizing the idea of having a framework in your business, because you want to tell people where they are now and where they're headed. The more you're able to do that and articulate it, the more they feel like, oh my God, they get me, they see me, they understand. It's like, yes. And they'll follow you anywhere. Okay. So we don't want to sell people a solution until you've helped them identify the problem or where they are on the journey. So the more you can give them a map, that's why I have the entrepreneur's roadmap. The more they can see where they are, the more they'll trust you to take them on this journey versus just get in the car. Just trust me. Just come on. I got you. It's like, do you though? Like, you know what I mean? Because again, I don't know you. I just met you now. So instead of just, hey, you're a woman in your mid-30s who is looking for more balance in life, buy my thing. Like that's no, there's still a gap right there. Okay. So today we're going to fill in that gap with what I call your client or customer destiny pyramid. Okay. There's a 4-step framework that will help you map their transformation journey. And don't think of this like your customer journey. Customer journey is for you. That's so you know where people are in your process, in your CRM. But the client's transformation journey is for them. And the more you can make this a real experience for them, it's going to help them self-diagnose where they are. So they end up basically selling themselves. It sounds like I need this because I'm right here. This is where I'm at. Oh, this. So y'all are agreeing, game of concentration. Oh yeah, right here. Okay, boom. So you need this. Yes, I need that. How much is that? Okay. They will self-enroll when you make this journey clear versus, yeah, I can help you. I mean, tell me more. I know it sounds like you need some help. I can help you. It's like, yeah, I need some help, but why should I get it from you? Like, I'm nervous. Like, I only got $2,000 to invest in this. And if I pick you and you're the wrong person now, I still got the problem and I lost my money. Like, versus if you're like, okay, based on what you're telling me, look, I've worked with thousands of clients. Look at this. Does this sound familiar? Boom. And then boom. It's like, yeah, oh my God. So it sounds like you're right here. Is that where you are? Yes. Oh my God. That's exactly where I am. Okay. So when you're right here, these are the things that you need. This is what my framework helps you on this part. We do this, because that'll help you. And then you'll feel, oh yes, that's exactly. Now they done sold themselves. You don't have to do nothing. This is the power of clarity, y'all. Clarity is like my new favorite word. Okay. It's one of the hidden C's, the 7 C's of social capital. Then there's a couple of hidden C's. This is one of them. Clarity. Another one is catchphrases. What we doing? Like, just you have your own language with your audience. The more you do that, the more they feel like they're a part of something. We're OGs over here. People literally introduce themselves. Like I was out in an event. Y'all know I don't go outside often, but when I do, and it was like a bunch of dollhouse people there, and they were like, "Oh, what's up?" Da-da-da. And then somebody started filming, did a video or whatever, and then the person was like, "Okay, here we go." They took pictures, and they were like, "Okay, video time," and they were like, "Dollhouse, we outside, we OGs," like blah 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 blah. And I was like, "Oh, we OGs now?" So self-identifying. I thought that was awesome. Like I love it here. I love that. So having your own language and doing all that, it just makes people feel like they're a part of something, and it's cool. You can do that, and it adds value to your community. So We have to help people self-diagnose where they are, so they sell themselves, show them this ladder, this pathway, so that they want to climb it, and have a tool. Well, use this clarity as a tool that's going to clarify your pricing, your deliverables, your positioning, like what they get at each level. It's not like I'm taking this little bit of money, but I'm doing all this work for people. That eliminates all of that. Okay. I also want to make sure we go through the neuroscience of why I told people, and I have to go through this again tomorrow night. Yeah, I canceled Spellman for y'all. So we'll be on tomorrow night at 6 as well. But the neuroscience behind why creating a visual for your framework, visual models outsell verbal pitches every time. Every time. So I hope I can convince some people to create a visual representation of your framework today. Okay. So we're going to stop guessing and start knowing exactly who we serve and how to serve them, where they are on their journey. Okay. And this is what's going to make you, shall I say, dare we say, irresistible? Kind of irresistible. It's kind of like, I don't have this money, but I'm finna go find it. Like, that's how they need to feel by the time you get through doing this work. Okay. So, brilliant entrepreneurs out here, got a gift, you have the experience, you've got, I don't even use the word passion, but you really want to do this work. You really want to help people and all the things, right? You know that you can provide a certain transformation for people. So then when I ask them, I say, okay, so who do you help? Who do you serve? They say, well, I help people make more money in their business, or like some vague and generic thing. Okay. So it's like, no, which people, what kind of business? And they're like, well, entrepreneurs, people who want to grow from where to where. And they'll be like, from wherever they are to success. Like, you see how vague we are most of the time. And it's very difficult, I will tell you again, to make money when you're speaking in vague terms. Your offers are not landing. People don't buy. It's too amorphous. I don't know what it is. Like, I need to know what it is. It would be like saying, you're not making an album. You're not writing any song. Songs have to be about a specific emotion. The more specific the song is, the more of a hit is likely to be in terms of the emotional energy of the song. Versus, well, she's a singer, she's a girl, and she's really, really good. You should go see her. You should buy a ticket. It's like, well, what am I buying though? Like, I need you to understand that you think people know what you do and they don't. So if you're not making money, it's just because people don't know what you do, or enough people, or the right people don't know what you do. You need super duper clarity. Okay. You got to help them see where they are and where they're going so that they can self-diagnose. So if somebody meets you, they're listening to you, or they're thinking about this problem, and then they come across you, they've been thinking about AI, and then you come and say, yep, I teach AI, or I teach, AI principles and STEM in schools, or whatever it is you do. They're immediately going to ask themselves, is this for me? And if they can't see themselves clearly in the description, the way you talk about the problem, they assume it's not for them. So if I get up in front of a room and I say, I help retirees to better manage their funds and, so they can make sure they don't run out of money for the rest of their retirement years. Everybody in that room who's not a retiree is like, oh, he's not talking to me. Even though his product service solution, his firm or whatever they have probably might be a fit for somebody who's not a retiree. It's just neuroscience. If they don't see themselves clearly in your description, they move on. Okay. They scroll past, they're not booking the call, or whatever the case may be. They're not buying anything from you. So the reason for that is because people have to self-diagnose before they buy the prescription. Again, people need to self-diagnose before they buy the prescription. Okay. So I'm a doctor. I help sick people feel better. It's not going to work. Nobody's moving. My godbrother's a doctor. He has a practice. You still have to get patients. You have to get people in the door. You know what I mean? And it's like, Yeah, I help you feel better. It's like, no. But if you specifically talk about something, a specific condition that they're dealing with, people with brain fog, chronic fatigue, unexplained weight gain, I help them identify whether or not they have a thyroid dysfunction. Now we're talking. They're already in their head. They're already like, is something wrong with my thyroid? I've been reading online. I'm not sure. And then you come and say, if you're experiencing this, and this, it's probably this. You're like, oh, he's talking to me. And we got to start talking like experts, talking like professionals. We want to get paid like professionals. So we got to start talking like professionals. Okay. So once they self-diagnose, oh, he's talking about me. Oh, I think I have a thyroid issue. Oh, okay. So now everything you say after that, they self-diagnose. So now they want the prescription. Is that making sense for people? Okay. So most entrepreneurs, I see y'all streaming online. What up? And thank y'all for being on the Zoom. Shout out to y'all. I'm not gonna mess up the screen and shout everybody out, but I see y'all. Thank y'all for being here. So entrepreneurs make this mistake. They focus on the destination, like the end game, the product, whatever they're selling, but they don't map the journey. Okay. So I help you build a 7-figure business. You never heard me say things like that. Because it's like, well, what if I'm at 0 right now? I feel like that's not even possible for me. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel achievable. So I just kind of don't buy. I just kind of sit on the sidelines like, okay. But what if, this is how I talk, y'all know this, I help brilliant entrepreneurs who are stuck in their heads. Great ideas, but no revenue to match it. I help them take their first step so they can get clear on their positioning and get their first few clients and cross the $3,000 to $7,000 mark in 90 days. That's very different. It's going to hit very different because they see themselves in that description. Yeah, I do get stuck in my head. I do have a lot of ideas. Yo, I ain't got no revenue, child. Now, can I get 3 clients in 30 days or 90 days if I just lean in? Yeah, I could probably do that. That would be amazing. That would be so life-changing. So boom, it closes the gap between where the person is and where they could be. And now they're like, you know what? Let me go ahead and do something. I need to make a move right now. Motion and money follows motion. So you guys, I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to show you how to do it. Because when you make that very clear and that next step seems very doable to people, they'll take a step. And that motion leads to a transaction. Okay. So most people do not know. I love my receipts. Your brain processes visual information 60,000 times faster than text. 60,000 times faster than text. So when you tell somebody about the journey and you just talk, and you know how much time I spend on helping you guys to communicate your value. So your words are very, very powerful. They kind of have to sit there and work on understanding it. But when you give them a visual model of the same journey, things get different. They have instant clarity. That's why every class you've ever seen me teach ever in life, ever, first thing I do, pull out my whiteboard, I roll it in, right? And then what I put up there, the entrepreneur's roadmap. And everybody get the phone out. They don't even know what they're looking at. It's just like, hold on. Because we want to know, well, where am I on the journey? Well, what does this mean? Well, what about this? It gives the brain, it goes beyond that prefrontal cortex. It just goes to the place of knowing. That's where I want to be. I want to have a conversation with the real you, not like the smart, I already have everything figured out you. Okay. All purchasing decisions are emotional decisions. So you got to meet people there. Okay. You want people to see where they are, have instant clarity, see where they're going, see the steps in between, and see that you have built this process, this bridge to help them get through all the steps. Okay. And when you do that, then they'll be like, okay, I want to go on this journey with you. It's psychology, y'all. It's neuroscience. I'm telling you. So that's what we're going to do with this destiny pyramid for our clients. It's a 4-step framework. Okay. Let me see. Let me pull it up for y'all. We're sharing screens. First thing we're going to do, make sure we can do it on the stream because it was not letting me be great just a minute ago, but let's see. Yup. Okay, here we go. There it is for y'all. And then let's do it on Zoom, shall we? There we go. All right. So this is the pyramid. This is how you take somebody from just, I got problems, I don't know what's going on. And then you make it very, very clear for them to know, number one, where they are now. That's their current struggle. Where they're going, that's the end game, the desired destination. All these phases of transformation that they go through and what they have to do at each phase to level up. Okay. We're not talking about listing your products in ascending order. We're not talking about your customer journey. That's for you. That's internal. That's not for the customer. We're not talking about your sales funnel. I'm talking about a description of the phases of change that your clients are experiencing at each stage in this transformation. Okay. So beginning, just starting out, intermediate, going through some things, getting some early traction versus mastery. Okay. So this helps your prospects to get crystal clear where they are. And the reason why that's important is because people are lost. They don't know what they don't know. They don't know what they need. They don't know. So you coming and telling them, hey, you need this. That means I would have to trust you to take that, to accept that. So it's like, okay, I hear that. I'll consider that. But they don't know. They don't know. But versus if you come and tell them, hey, I know you feel a little lost. Here's where you are. And then they're like, oh my God, this is where I am. You know what I mean? Have you ever been lost? You stop to get directions and all that. They're like, oh, okay. Now I know where I'm at. Things are different once you show them where they are. Once you help them to self-diagnose, then they'll be like, yes, that is where I am. So now that's going to increase their confidence in your ability to help them because you can clearly describe where they are right now. You're using their exact language. You're naming their exact symptoms. So they're thinking, okay, this person understands. They get me. They understand my struggle. You know what I'm saying? And then this also makes sure that you are only showing them the very next step, not something that's 10 steps down the road, just the next one. And so they think, you know what? This feels actually really doable to me. I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Their confidence increases. And again, people buy in environments where they feel your confidence and then they feel confident. It's a game of concentration versus you coming in desperate and then they feeling nervous and desperate and lost and confused. If everybody's lost and confused and I need this sale and they like, I don't know if I'm making the right move, no transactions are happening. Versus you come in with confidence. Let me help you diagnose where you are. That's kind of actually the first free thing that most people need to be doing is some, whatever your free thing is, it should be something, not just taste this, watch this, do this. It should be something that helps them see where they are on a journey of transformation, where they are from, I'm a person that's confused. I heard I needed some yoga. I don't really know nothing about that. I don't know. And then there should be a very clear journey to, I'm aligned, I'm balanced, and I use yoga as a tool to keep me that way at all times. It's an important part of my life. It's just as much as I breathe and eat, I also incorporate yoga. Like there's a journey between the first version of that and the second version. And it's your job to define that so people can see where they are. They'll have confidence. Okay. This is also going to help you clarify your deliverables and your pricing because most people don't know what to charge because they don't know what level they're serving. However, if you map this pyramid out, then you'll start to realize, okay. I'm serving people at, let's say level 2 because they need this, and this. Okay, based on that, I'll charge this. Once you get clear on what you're delivering and what stage you're in, that's going to make it easier for you to do your pricing. It's also going to weed out people who are not a good fit for what you got going on because not everybody's on the same level you are, and that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. You don't want everybody as your client. This is not what you want. Okay. This pyramid that we're building, this ladder is going to help you to say, It sounds like you're at level 1, but the program, the core, what I'm offering is actually for people who are going from level 2 to level 3. So I can't help you right now. So here's some resources for you on level 1. And then when you're ready for this part, you come back over here. That way you won't, you know what I'm saying? You charge somebody, then they get in there and then they can't do any of the things you're doing. Now they're upset. They want their money back. You know, I did all this work. It's not my fault you're not ready. Like, it eliminates all of that, right? You don't want every client. It's not your client. Okay. So you point them in the right direction. You keep adding value and they will come back when they are ready. This is also becomes a competitive advantage. And now, still to this day, it's 2026. Very, very few of your competitors are doing this. Okay, they're still saying, I help people with this vague thing, or they're still introducing themselves as a real estate agent, or like, I'm a yoga instructor, or I'm an attorney. Like, it's like, really, like, y'all, again, it's not 1985. It's not like everybody has a job and you're the only person that's just like, I have my own thing that I'm doing. Everybody has their own thing that they're doing now. So you have to be even better at this. Just like these little kids, it's not like when we were coming up. You know, you just get outside in the yard every day, and as long as you got that ball in your hand every day, take shots every day, dribble every day, keep the ball in your hand all day, every day, that was enough. Now, kids in 2nd and 3rd grade, they got reels already they're all on Instagram. They're building fan bases. They 8. This baby is 8. They got coaches. The mom is spending money. They're going out of town on tours, all type of basketball tournaments all over the country, playing against players of different. It's different. You have to come with a different level of sophistication now if you want it to make it in the league versus just raw talent and I'm showing up every day. It's not 1985, y'all. So most people are still out here being very vague, but you hopefully are doing this work. So you will have now this visual model that shows people exactly where they are, where they're going. And you literally can be like, you know what, you're not ready. Go do this free stuff first. Go do this part first. When you get that together, and come over here and I can help you. They will work. They will be aspiring to come and work with you. Okay. And you become like the obvious choice. So let's build your pyramid. Any questions before I move to helping y'all work through this thing? Okay. Step 1, we need to define what are the 4 main levels of your audience. So basically try to break your audience into 4 steps. This process of going from, I just got here, I don't know nothing about nothing, I don't know what's going on, all the way to complete mastery, a complete solution to that first, big problem or transformation that you provide. So you want to describe each phase as a separate step, if that makes sense. So let me see if I can help y'all understand what I'm saying. Okay. You want to define each of some things in the chat. Do I need to respond to that? What's in the chat? Okay. Yes, the mirror test, Tracy. Okay, so here we go. Take a look at this. 4 levels. Describe each phase. So let's go back. The first phase is, where are they now? Describe their current struggle. And we've been doing a lot of work on this, so hopefully you can do that. Describe where they are now in emotional language. This is kind of the struggle phase. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what's going on. I can't believe this happened. Maybe they just went through an experience. Maybe they just had the baby. Like there's something they're going through right now. Okay. That's your level 1. So in my example, I can do for like business, what I teach, entrepreneurship. Level 1 might be, they have this idea, they're thinking about business, they haven't started one. Level 2 is like the launch phase. They're starting to try to get in motion. Okay. So they're getting started. They have some kind of awareness of what's going on. They don't know what they don't know, but they're just trying to get, past that inertia. No sales. In my example, very few sales, just started a business, just barely outside. Okay. Level 3 would be like the plateau phase. So this is where they start to make some progress. They have some sense of the new normal, kind of a little bit. They're starting to see it, starting new habits. They're seeing results. So in this entrepreneurship example, that would be, Okay, they're running a business. They got some clients. Okay, they're doing all right, but they're struggling. They don't have no systems in place. They don't know how to really make money. They just kind of hope and pray that they get a referral. They have no real systematic way to do that. Stage 4 is the expansion phase. So that's where they're actually achieving this outcome that you're supposed to be providing them, this transformation. They're living the life that they had in their head and able to help other people and all the things. Okay. Does this make sense? Are you able to kind of break up? It's not just like, okay, I help people from this age to learn this skill, but it's like when I start out with them, this is what they're going through. Then when they first get in motion, this is what they're experiencing. They launch. Then after that, they make a little progress, but they're stuck in a lot of different ways, but they're seeing some stuff that's working. And eventually, by the time they get through, they're all the way outside. How would you do that or define that or describe that journey for your business? Y'all see, this is so old. I've been teaching this so long. That's my old logo up there. Does that make sense? So if you're taking notes, hopefully kind of try to workshop this and you can get this video and go back and do it, spend more time on it. Okay. Now, second thing we want to do, we got the levels. Now we want to define metrics that you can use to measure. How do you know when they've left that level and gone to the next level? Okay. So metrics, measurements. So back to our example, entrepreneurship. People don't even have a business. Okay, obviously they don't have any revenue. They could be negative actually. Okay. Level 2, they got in motion. They might have made a sale or two here and there, but they're definitely not earning enough money to support themselves or pay themselves even monthly. Okay. Level 3, they have a little bit of momentum. Maybe they're paying some bills or doing okay, but it's very overwhelming. It's hard for them to manage. They don't have systems, et cetera, et cetera. They don't know how they made their money. They don't know where the next client's coming from. They don't know. Level 4, they're making enough money to, when I always say 10K, 20K a month, you get step 5 on the roadmap, whatever. You're able to hire employees or expand, outsource some things so you can start focusing on other stuff. So does that make sense? For each level that you've defined on your customer or client destiny pyramid, if you will, a metric. So where are they right now? If I'm starting with people who have an idea in their head, like I'm about to start a group called W2 to Revenue. I think I'm going to go at 5:00. I don't know what day of the week I'm going to do it yet. But basically, you know how they say, okay, when you get off your 9 to 5, you need to work on your dream from 5 to 9. Whoever came up with that, but okay, fine, let's do that. So at 5, I'm going to show up and speak to the people who still got jobs and still out here, don't know what's going on, maybe have never been an entrepreneur or not even familiar with it. They don't know what they don't know. So they don't have no money, no revenue right now. They just keep talking about they want to do it. That's where they are now. That's the struggle. Then I'm going to get them into motion. And kind of first steps out the gate. Yeah, you can do it. Yes, you can. Get past your mental blocks and all that stuff. Okay, so it's a lot of mental work, internal game that we got to do. Then, okay, I'm out here, but I actually still don't know what I'm doing because I don't have any systems and stuff. Okay, great. Now let's zoom out. Let's see the patterns. Let's start to implement some systems so you can really build momentum. And that includes social media. So y'all need to jump into this class because that's a toolkit that you need to start doing things intentionally and on purpose, not just accidentally in your business. Like intentionally, I make this post, I talk to this kind of people, I get this kind of metrics, this many people get on my email list, I send out my email every Friday, I have an offer at the end of the week, and every, based on that, 100 people see it, about 10 people going to ask for something, about 3 people going to buy. So I can guarantee that I can predict rather that I'm making, let's say $5,000 a week or something like that. Yeah. So we put systems in place and I teach them how to run their business by the numbers. And then by the time you get to the top of the pyramid, we're living the life. We're outside. We have all the transformation. We're able to scale. Now we can talk about using that cash flow to purchase some assets. And then you've graduated. Now there's a whole new program for you to go into. You know what I'm saying? So what does that look like for your business, and what metrics go with each phase? So I just gave you these examples, but okay. For each phase, you also want to describe the symptoms or the pains that they're experiencing. So that's when you use all this emotional language and these trigger words. So again, in my example, when they first start out, they got a vague idea of what they want to do, no concrete plan, no idea how to move forward in the business. If they were going to start a business, they're overwhelmed, they're not sure where to start, and they're looking for something simple, easy, step by step. Okay. When they get in motion, they're like, okay, I'm outside and I'm passionate about trying to take this idea to the world, but really you don't know what you're doing. And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did this. And now what? And my savings is getting low. I don't know how I'm going to reach a bigger audience. I don't know what to do. I'm not making sales. I'm not sure how to position myself. I don't really know what I'm doing. You realize you don't know what you're doing once you get started. Okay. I don't know how to price my product. I don't know what to do. When opportunities come, when new people, it's like, okay, I do need to go talk to people, but now I'm nervous because I don't know what to do. I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared for this. Okay. So then we kind of do some training. By the time you get to level 3, we're making some progress. Okay, I'm proud of my accomplishments, but now I'm totally stressed. I'm overwhelmed. I'm frustrated about the workload. I'm exhausted. I'm feeling over. You see the language. It's the emotional language. Because when you talk to your folks like this, they will be like, this is where I'm at right there. Yeah, I want to start, but I don't even know where to begin. Like they will self-diagnose. Right. And then by the time they get to level 4, they've achieved the initial goal. Now they're exploring other opportunities. Maybe I should hire some people. Maybe I should go and acquire another company. Maybe I can sell my company, whatever that is. So by describing your symptoms, people can self-diagnose where they are on the journey. So what does that feel like for you guys? And then give them a takeaway action for each level. One action that they have to do to get from one level to the next. By the time you get to this part is like that framework that I keep telling everybody to have. So of course you could do 3, but I'm saying 4 today. So when they first start out, they feel away feelings. And they're at certain, a definable place. They have 0 customers. Okay. And now you've named that phase. You can make up any name, but you are naming that. And you can literally visualize it and put it right here. Boom, boom. That's the idea phase. Okay. Then step 2, in order to get out of that first phase, you have to do what? Take what action? And that would be the mini deliverable, the goal. You could do a mini course. You could do whatever. You say, I'm going to get you from have no idea to, you're going to get some clarity on, this concept or whatever that is. Then step 2, we're going to go from having a concept to, let's say we got to talk to 50 people or whatever. So now you're like, on level 2, you're passionate, but you don't really know. You're not really prepared. You haven't really talked to anybody. You're not making really sales for real. You don't know what's going on. So that means you might have made some money here and there. Maybe your grandmama, somebody bought 1 or 2 sales here and there, but you're not really making no money for real. Metrics. And I'm going to call that your whatever phase. You make up a name for it. And then you put it on your visual. Y'all see what I'm saying? So you do a pyramid. You could do 4 icons going across the page. You could do a map. You could do, it doesn't matter. But as long as you can visualize it. Do y'all see this process that I'm taking you on? What steps do they need to take? The 1, 2, 3 we've been talking about this. So you should have some idea of that. When they're at this step, how do they graduate? They take another action. And then how are they feeling? We should know what that is so they can self-diagnose themselves. What are their metrics? Right now, you ain't got no money, 0 sales. Or you're making sales here and there sporadically, but you don't know where these customers are coming from. There's no system that's intentionally every time I reached 100 people with this post, 30 people came on my email list. And out of that, 5 people bought. So I know I'm going to make $2,000 a week. You don't have that. So we're going to call this the in-between phase, the momentum phase, the whatever. You name that, and then you put it on your visual. Okay? Let me stop and ask. Y'all got questions? I actually did 5 on mine. This is what it ended up looking like. But it's just a visual. And then they'll be like, oh, yeah, that's me right there. immediately self-identify anytime you put a visual up for people. Y'all can look at this right now. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm just wondering, so do you show this to your potential clients or people that you're helping, or how do they?
Yes, you show this in what I'm on screen I'm on right now. This is literally something that you would put on the table. You could draw it. My mentor, that the first person that taught me how to make $1 million worth of sales and stuff, she would literally get a blank piece of paper and draw it. She's like, most people will start out, boop, boop, boop. She did a little stick figure and then boop, boop, boop. Then they get confused, they get lost. But boop, boop, boop. If you can make it through, if you make the right choices here, then you'll end up over here. And
interesting.
And then she'll pass the paper to them and say, where do you think you are right now? And they would point and say, yeah, that's us right there. She said, okay, boom. If you're right here, this is what you need. And they would be like, yep, sign us up. Like, you're not selling anything. They did it.
Right.
So
that makes so much sense.
Yeah. So framework, this is an example. This is obviously 10 years old. This is when I used to teach at SCORE for the U.S. Small Business Administration. But people
can visual though.
Yeah. So people could look at it and see, oh yeah, that's me right there.
Right. I need to make one of these.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody needs a visual, a framework, of whatever you want to call that. And a pyramid is a great way to do it. But like I said, it can be going, left to right across the page. It could be a map. It could be something like that. But people need to see where they are and self-diagnose. So which one of these, you could literally put it in front of them and say, which one of these do you most relate to? Most of the clients I work with, they go through this process. Da, 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 da. And by the time you get through talking, they're like, oh yeah, that's me right there. And then from there, you're like, okay, boom. If you're here, then this is what I suggest for you. So now it becomes a real consultative relationship as opposed to you trying to sell them something.
Okay. So I guess I kind of do this a little bit when I'm talking to them. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to figure out what exactly is frustrating them, what they need the most help with, what the biggest issue is. Mm-hmm. And then they're talking and they're telling me what their specific frustration is.
Right. And so what I'm suggesting, all we're doing is getting more sophisticated. So if we're still using the Afro method, right? We're still letting them talk and aspirations and frustrations and all the things. And they talk. By the time you get to the second F and it's time for the framework, then you just pull out your piece of paper.
You just pull this out.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, based on what you're saying, it sounds like you right here. You going through this, you feeling like this. They're like, yup, You got to, your stuff ain't stable. Okay. You're not, and they're like, yup, that's me. You're not alone. Most of my clients are da da da. As a matter of fact, this is how I got into this work. And you go right into the, and that's why we do it like this. That's it.
Okay, great. Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. Anybody else? Because some version of visual, some version of bringing your framework to life in a way that people can identify where they are in the journey, it's going to transform your business. It is. It definitely is. Okay. Anybody? I think that's it I want to share on here. Okay, so recap.
I have a question.
Go for it.
So this visual for our individual businesses, should we put this in another perspective or put it in the bot and have it like, let's say for me, I'm yoga. So is there certain things that you have on there? I don't know if it necessarily works for my business, but should I create a system like this just for my business and for on the website, they can go to it and kind of pinpoint where they are, sort of like a game or like a test?
You could. I love a good assessment. So if you were going to try to take this and feed it into our Bougie GPT, I would take this screen, because this is a generic one. I'm saying everybody is going to have, this applies to everybody. So first we're talking about the struggle where they are right now. Then we're helping them get awareness of the first steps to get started. Then we're helping them start to get in motion and make some progress. They're seeing a little results. They have some early habits, but they also have a lot of challenges and ultimately get into the thing that they really wanted, the ultimate transformation, the life that they actually imagined. Okay. That's true for everybody. So you could take this and then these descriptions of what that means. And if you have the right GPT, my Bougie does it, it will tell you, you will say, here's the framework. I need to define these levels. I need metrics at each level. I need to describe the symptoms. using emotional words and triggers, and I need to take away action. How do we know that we've graduated from the one level to the next? And then you tell it about your business. This is what I'm doing. Because in this example, this is about, entrepreneurship. So you have to tell it about your business and then tell it to do it. And if you have a good GPT, it should give you something back from this. Yeah. And I would start by saying, give me the language first and then tell it to make the visual, because like Claude does not do visuals. I mean, it does, but no. So you could take the language once you get the language down for each of the levels and then go to Gemini or somewhere else and use it to make the visual.
Okay, I like this. I can even think of maybe ways that it's not within a pyramid, but maybe even not to get too sketchy, but like within my logo, like it kind of draws it out. Mm-hmm. And with ChatGPT, I've also created code. Like last year, I started creating code with ChatGPT. So I have some yoga games on my website mm-hmm. that was made through chat. So maybe I could gamify this where each time they do a section, it leads them to the next thing that connects with the answer they gave, type of thing.
That sounds creative. I love it. But you know what I love the most is, like I said, she was white lady said, oh, let me show you something. She called me in her office, closed door. I'm like, what happened now? And she said, let me show you how I, because she's like the top sales lady of the century or whatever. And she's like, let me show you how I sell. And she pulled out that piece of printer paper, the kind, the blank loop, the white, and a pencil. She never used pen. I to this day, I got all these pencils in my drawer. Ticonderoga, pre-sharpened. Anyway, she pulled out that paper and she said, this is how I tell the story. This is how I talk to my clients. And she said, boop, 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 boop. And she said, and I said, now where do you see yourself on this? And they'll be like, right here. And she'd be like, okay, so it sounds like y'all need to do this, this, and this. They'd be like, yeah, you're right. It do sound like that. And they would go head on and sign the papers with. I promise you, the next week, it was a couple. I didn't know the people from Adam. I don't even remember how they got my number or vice versa. They came in the office. I said, come on, y'all, let's go in the conference room. I went in there and got my little piece of paper. I had a whole new stack of printed paper. I bought a new pack. And went in there, I did exactly what that lady said. I said, okay, now most people see like da, but then they get stuck because blah, 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 blah. But if you keep going and you do the right thing, you end up over here. Now, where on this journey you think you are? And they said, oh, yeah, we right there. I said, okay, now how much would you be starting with? Said, oh, about 200,000. Okay, so what you need to do is da. And they were like, okay, so how much is that? I was like, oh, the fees are already included. So that's the total. Oh, that's all we got to do? Yeah, that's all you got to do. So they're like, but we're already with another firm. I was like, no, because you just sign this right here and then boop, and they'll take care of everything for you in the back office. You don't have to do anything. You can leave out here today. It's done. Y'all can go on vacation. You're like, oh, sign. Like it was the fastest $250,000 I ever made in my life. Like it was just like,
wow.
Blip, blip, bloop.
No, this is not a lie though, because I know from personal experience, I lose clients because of lack of clarity. Like people that are eager to move forward, especially when you're in the wellness field, the last thing people want to look is you looking sketchy and you looking salesy or you looking confused. That doesn't sell in the wellness field. And I don't think in any field, but definitely people want me to be put together well. But yeah, I noticed that the only people I can really sell without clarity is a friend, and they're going on the strength of
they already know
already.
Exactly. Yep. So now we're getting tools to overcome that. Any other questions before I stop sharing this on the screen? I will add this to our resource document so you'll be able to reference it. Okay, cool. Y'all, so this, I didn't even know I was going to find this today. This is me finding finding all the jewels in my records as I'm going through this stuff, because this social media course is going to be so epic, like epic.
I do have a question about where this should be placed on the website, or do you think this is more of an in-person situation?
Yep, I think you don't know until you start using it with people, right? Okay. Because I'll be quite honest, like obviously I'm not doing the dollhouse like full time, but just in conceptually, I have the how do you say that? I have the roadmap, right? Like you could see it on my website, but would you really understand it if I wasn't sitting here talking to you about it? Probably not. But once I explain it, then it's like, it means everything. So you don't necessarily need to have it on your website. It's more like a tool to help you. Because even if you don't physically pull it out, even if you're just on the phone or you're just casually, you're in the airport or something, now you know where you're taking them. It's a map in your mind. And it's going to help guide your conversations a lot better. So it doesn't necessarily have to be public facing. It can be. It's more definitely a tool when you're in person, but it's more like to make sure that you have it just feels real to people because you're anchoring the conversation in, are you here? Or are you here? Or are you here? You know what I mean? So let's see, anybody else? All right, perfect. So we're defining the 4 levels, defining the metrics, describing the symptoms, and the takeaway action. How do we get from that first level to the next? And what's the action to graduate you to each following step? Okay. So
okay.
Think of it like a video game. And each level, like I said, you could do 3, no less than 3 now. And really no more than 5 because it gets too confusing for people. But each level would represent a phase of transformation. So I just went through that example from the perspective of teaching an entrepreneurship class. And it gives people a very clear sense of where they are on the journey, a separate set of challenges, different state of being, different set of solutions. It's all part of the whole, right? But it's broken down in a way that people don't feel overwhelmed. They know exactly where they are and they feel confident, taking the next step with you. And that level of safety is what makes them want to buy something.
Do you go through each step with them, or do you just let them read it? You're actually going through as you're drawing.
Yeah,
I guess with them?
It's a story, right? And so obviously you won't be super long-winded, but yeah, I would definitely, like, even if you're not drawing it, even if it's already printed or done, pre-done, you could still just tell the story right quick. I could totally relate to this. Like most clients, you start your company and you think okay, we need a website. And it's like, then what? Like nobody knows what that means. And so then they get into, you could be like confusion era. You just,
right.
Do I use Squarespace? Does it matter? Like, do I need a WordPress?
Yeah.
Like all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another phase and then there's another phase. Yeah. So you just tell the story. Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yep. So the way to get to your levels, guys, is level 1 is like, when are they at their lowest point? Like the most confusion. Okay. Level 2, what's the first phase of progress? Level 3, their intermediate phase. And then level 4, kind of the mastery, the dream state, the solution state, the transformation that they really want. Can you jot that down for your business? Now we're going to, you can have 4 columns going this way or going sideways. And then you want metrics for each level, things that can be measured, not feelings, not vibes, measurable things. So revenue metrics was the example that I used, but you can be as specific as you can be. Give them emotional language around that. You could also, metrics could be like how many hours they're spending. So if they're spending 20, 30 hours a week just trying to figure out the website and the back end and the this and the that, or is taking them, a certain percentage of their budget, they're having to pay all these outsourced people to try to fix this problem. Any of those things can be considered metrics that you measure at each stage along the journey.
That was going to be my next question. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. It could be capacity, like team size. Like maybe when you first start your business, it's just you. By the time you get to this phase of business, maybe it's 3 people, and then versus whatever that is. But yeah, pick metrics that matter for your audience. So just get into their seat. Think from the lens of the problem, and define your metrics based on that. If somebody needs me to do an example, just come off of mute and I'll do that. All right.
That would be good. To hear an example, please.
Okay, yoga. What's the end game? What's the transformation they want?
They want to have more peace of mind and have a great body.
Okay, so right now, what do they feel?
They feel frustrated. They know they need some type of wellness practice in their life, yet they don't have the time, and maybe they're already working out. They don't want to add anything extra.
Okay, we'll go back to the end. How would they define, how would they know if they had peace of mind and a great body? What does that look like? How would you define that?
I think it would be in their sleep quality, the way they're showing up for their family, and maybe getting out of people pleasing, but not feeling guilty about it.
Okay, so sleep time. They're able to sleep, 7 to 8 hours a night.
Yes.
Maybe they're at their ideal body weight.
Mm-hmm.
Spending not working more than 40, 50 hours a week, so they have more, the rest of that time is with their family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was the end one. So what we would just do is back up and let's say those are our metrics. So now each one of the metrics is like, you're not sleeping, getting, interrupted sleep, or only sleeping a few hours a night. You're 30 or more pounds overweight.
Okay.
You working 60,
saying.
80
Yes.
hours a week, and whatever. Like that.
Okay. The end is the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's like Bible.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So we get those metrics now. Then we describe the symptoms. And I know I've been harping on this, so most of us should be pretty good at that. You're speaking directly to their pain. You're going to describe their symptoms and their pain points for each level. Emotional words, emotional language. We are so off the charts brilliant. Don't do it. Speak emotional language. Speak their language, not clinical language, not technical language. The language that they use to describe themselves. That's where your money's at. Okay. So again, in the entrepreneurship example, not saying you're lacking business clarity. What does that mean? Nobody knows. I mean, yeah, I guess I am. But the thing that's going to move somebody is to say you have a vague idea of what you're going to launch, but no concrete plan on how to move forward. You're overwhelmed. You got all these ideas, but you don't know where to start. You keep wasting time. You're like, I want to get started, but I don't know what to do. You tried out, you read some books, you watching videos, you just overwhelmed. It's too much. You're looking for a step-by-step guide and easy roadmap. They're going to be like, yeah, that's me. You know what I'm saying? So use their words so that when they hear you say it or they see it on the visual as you're telling the story, they're going to be like, that's exactly how I feel. Okay. Another example, just so you can hear emotional language, maybe for the level 2 in my example, you're passionate about taking your idea to the world, but you're worried about running out of money. You're running low on your savings. You don't know how to reach a bigger audience. You don't know how to make sales consistently. Your family's dependent on you. You're not sure how to position your brand. You don't know how to price your product. You're all over the place. Opportunities come, and then you get nervous because you're stressing out. You're not sure what to do. You don't know how to handle yourself. You don't know how to show up in sales meetings. You just, I know I have something, but. Okay. It's exactly how people talk. It's exactly how they feel. And they're going to be like, yes, you understand me, because they want to take that weight and put it on some other than them. That's where you come in. You're the solution. So y'all got me on the emotional language. So describe how they feel at each level. What words do they use to describe their struggle? What keeps them up at night? What are they afraid of? What are they wanting to avoid? What do they desperately want or wish they could have? This is how we talk. This is how we talk to people. And this is how we describe the symptoms at each stage of this framework that we're building, this pyramid, or however you do your visual. Okay, and that becomes your marketing language. And then finally, step 4, we're defining one key action that they need to do to move from level 1 to level 2, from level 2 to level 3, level 3 to level 4. That's it. One key action. So in that example that y'all saw, I had the word prove. What I meant by that was, how do you know you've moved from, I got this idea, I want to start a business, to, okay, I'm in business now. You got to prove. Prove what? Prove the concept, get your first client, validate that people will pay you. And you get to make this up, y'all. It's just a framework. It's just a way for you to talk about your work. For level 2, I had practice. So as practice your pitch, practice your process. When I say talk to 50 people, get your reps in. All right. Level 3, I had Systematize. That's where you're going to document what's working, build these systems, make sure you have CRM and you're following up, have some automation processes, get your social media going, start to automate some of this communication. So it's one to many. Get yourself out of the one-to-one every single day, every single sale. I have to touch the ball, otherwise nothing moves. And then level 4, I had discover, which would be exploring new opportunities, giving back, building legacy. You have expanded capacity. You're able to, purchase and do other stuff. I saw a hand up. Oh, Latrice, hey.
Hey, doll, how are you?
Wonderful.
Okay, good. So, quick question. So my target is schools, school districts, and parents, but I work directly with the students. And so my question is, how do I adequately assess the pain point when I'm working directly with the student, but my target is the parent or the school?
Yeah.
How do I frame that?
I think we might have even talked a little bit about this, but because you're already in there and you're doing some of this work, it's a great opportunity to just kind of casually, like after class, while people are doing the pickup, or when you do a check-in with the principals or the teachers at the schools that you're already working with, I would kind of very casually, but you only need 10 or 15 minutes, kind of go through that Afro method and really just get a sense of, somebody was asking me, I had an interview earlier today before I got on, and they were like, trying to understand how we got into schools and kind of what that was about. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I recognized, because I went to my educators, because I'm not an educator. So I had a board of people who were advising me, and they told me they need STEM-based programming. Now it's AI, same thing. They need, hands-on project-based learning. Like, they literally told me the phrases. They were like, they're being evaluated based on this. They get their funding based on this. Like, this is what they're looking for. They want engagement. They want students to they already told me what they were looking for. So you intuitively kind of know that because you've been working in the space, and then you can validate that and expand it just by having, 10, 15 minute, very casual conversations. Use the Afro method and get them to talk about, why does this even matter? Tell me what this program, means for you guys. Why, I know that you guys are really happy with the work and the way the students have been engaged, and tell me more about why this is important for you guys and what your goals are. Let them talk and tell you. That's what I would do.
That sounds good. It sounds like I could even possibly maybe print out a small assessment, maybe like a small survey.
You definitely can. People hate homework. People not looking to do homework. But yes, they do work. I mean, some people will fill it out. So that's also a good thing to do, just to have, ask people to fill it out or whatever the case may be. When you get to the point where you're like really scaling, one of the things that I would do is find maybe a local business, restaurant, or somebody to give them something for filling out the assessment. Like, if you fill out this assessment, this local famous, everybody goes to this pizza shop, you go in there and get it free, whatever.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Sounds
Stuff
great.
like that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Absolutely. And that's a good way for local community or local businesses really like to support their local schools too. So you could come up with a whole cool package. It's like, people fill out this assessment, you get all this cool stuff, kind of thing. But yeah, asking them is always the easiest way. And you get the nuance of, the way people talk versus when they got to sit there and now write it down. Sometimes you get a different level of emotion. Okay, so let's see, how do we use this? And then we'll be done. Number one, this is going to help you in your sales conversations. We're going to get back to that. But also, this is going to help drive your content strategy. Because now that I have levels, now that I can literally create content for around each level. So at level 1 on your thing, now you're building this world. Here's what you need to know. I know how you're feeling. First thing you need to do is you can speak to them right at the level. If you're at level 2, here's a mistake you're probably making. If you're, in your mind, you're saying, if they're at level 3, your content says, okay, if you're doing this, stop doing this, and this. In your mind, you know what level you're addressing. And now your content speaks to that specific level. So it automatically is going to make your content stand out from more generic, weird things that people are posting, because they're just kind of talking vaguely. You want to make more money? You need to be more present. It's like, okay, thanks. Like, I can't implement that versus, okay, if you're going through this, you need to like you could be more specific. It's going to connect with people more. Okay. And so when people read it, they'll be like, oh my God, that's for me. Or, oh, I can relate to that. I was going through that 2 months ago. Like, absolutely. So they keep rocking with you because you're speaking directly. It's like, it helps you as if you're talking to one person. Like I said, now in sales conversations, if you're on the phone, on a Zoom, or if you're in person, you can literally show them your framework, show them this visual. And it says, okay, based on what you're telling me, it sounds like you're right here because you're experiencing this, you go through this, da 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 da. Does that sound accurate? And they'll be like, oh yeah, like thank you for giving me language. Sometimes they'll thank you. They're like, wasn't really putting it together like that. That's exactly what I'm experiencing. And then it's like, okay, based on what you're saying, okay, cool. Based on what you're saying, this is what you need to do to get from here to the next level. So if they're on level 2, this is how you get to level 3. And I have a program that's designed to help you do that. We can do it in 90 days. We could do it, meeting twice a week. We could do it, you don't have to do anything. My team comes in and does everything, like whatever that is. You can describe that. And they basically will sell themselves like, well, okay, well, how much is this? Like they're already trying to find the money to pay you at that point. Just because you help them to self-diagnose. Okay. So this also helps you to structure your offers around the levels. Okay. So you could have an offer to help basically your different offers. When I said to have a value ladder, this goes with that. So now you have an offer to take people from level 1 to level 2, something to get people from level 2 to level 3, and then something to get people from level 3 to level 4. And then also something, I just met you now, I don't know you from Adam, to bring them into working with you on level 1. And that's it. So you could have, your signature program, you could have different programs depending on where they are on the journey. It's like beginner, intermediate, advanced. It's like do it yourself, done with you, done for you. It's like, bronze, silver, gold, or however you want to think about that. But now your offers become a lot clearer because you know exactly who it's for. And you know how to target people and everything. Everything gets different. And then, of course, in all of your language on your website, all of your one pages, if you're doing any flyers, landing pages, any kind of copy, captions, your offer, product pages, and all that kind of stuff, you can use the symptom language for each level in your marketing, in all your documents. So literally you say what they say. So if you're stuck in your head with brilliant ideas, but your bank account is not matching, you're feeling overwhelmed, you don't know where to start, you're looking for a step-by-step roadmap, this is for you. So you just answered the question for them. They're like, this is for me. So what is it? And now I'm like, yes, please. What are we talking about? You can also use this framework, again, to weed out people who are not going to be a good fit for what you're actually building. What you have is not for everybody. If it were, there wouldn't be any value. Or by the time it gets to the point where everybody has access to it, you're so well known that you don't have to do anything. You could just sit back and let the money come in. You know what I'm saying? So you want to weed out people who are not a good fit. So it's like, based on what you're telling me, it sounds like you're right here. However, the work that I do, the one-on-one, you're not ready for that yet. That's for people who are on level 3 trying to get to level 4. So here's what I recommend you do instead. And you can send them to some free resources. You could send them to somebody else in your network. You can send them, you need to go read this book. Let's start right here. You need to go read this book, watch these videos, do this thing. Versus somebody trying to pay you and just, because you the hottest thing right now. So, no, just here, I need you, just go, just fix it. You can't always fix it. Sometimes they're not ready for your transformation. And so then now you got a problem client because they didn't pay you. You can't get them the outcome that they're looking for because they don't qualify. If you stick to this, you won't have that problem. Okay. So this is neuroscience, you guys, and I'm done. If you got questions, if not, I did it, 90 minutes. When you help somebody to self-diagnose, they feel seen. Their brain starts kicking in oxytocin and the whole thing, which is the connection hormone. Remember, I told you connection is the birthplace of all currency. So if you can make their brain release oxytocin, they feel seen, they start to trust you. What is the goal? This video game. Know, like, and trust. Oh my God, we're here. Trust. If there's a connection, there's going to be currency, sales. Okay. So the more you have clarity and you provide that clarity with a roadmap, a clear framework, whatever the case may be, the brain is releasing dopamine. Also, why? Because the brain loves clarity. It's like, that's why we play these games on our phone. It's like, oh, if I do this, ding. If I do the ding, like boop, 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 ding, like your brain loves this. It loves it. It's like, I did this thing and it worked. Efficiency. Your brain is designed for that. So, ooh, I do this and it worked. I cook this meal. Ooh, it tastes good. I do this thing. I get this outcome. Like, yes, like your brain loves that. So the more clarity you have, it reduces the cognitive load. Clarity. So it's like, okay, I come to you, you give me this result, right? And you're like, right. They're like, yes, I like this. So I'm coming to you because I'm expecting I'm going to get this result. No confusion. That's how you make money all day, every day. All day, every day. Nobody's confused. Everybody's clear. Everybody's winning. We love it here.
I just want to say, these classes are amazing. First of all, you know that already. But I was just talking to my best friend because I'm learning photography, and she is an amazing photographer. And there was a event at the Buckhead Club for the Atlanta Press, and they interviewed they were interviewing the president of Mercedes-Benz and talking about the World Cup and, him integrating AI into the cars and all this stuff. So at the end of the event, Crystal's like, do you want to, we could put our stuff, or we can mingle if we want to a little bit after, because, we're there as photographers. But then I was like, okay, let's put our bags away. Like, let's not bring our stuff with us. Let's just go. And I was like, who do you know in here? Who can you introduce me to?
Right.
And I'm like, sometimes I don't recognize myself. But so there was two people in the room that she knew. One was like the president of Rough Draft news publication, and then the other was a journalist at the AJC.
Mm-hmm.
We just went up to them. I introduced myself. We started having conversations, and of course, they were asking what I was doing. My pitch was rolling off my tongue. I was conversating, just going with the flow of the conversation. I got somebody's card. I told somebody else I was going to connect with them on LinkedIn. But she saw me and she was like, I need to work on my pitch. She was like, can you help me? Can we practice together? I'm like, yes, every day. I was like, I do it every day. I did it on the way to meet you because I was in the car when my calendar said to do it.
Yep. Send them to the dollhouse, child. Send them over here.
It's working. Yeah, she's like,
let's go.
You inspired me to, because I did some BTS for the event too. I was like, this content. And she's like, she's like, I'm inspired. I need to do more.
Yes.
She's like, send me that content. I'm going to do a video today.
Yes.
So it's working.
This is what I'm talking about. See, when we make the shift, I said that right before you got on. I said, Micaiah has made the shift, y'all. You could tell. It's different over here. You made the shift. And now you affected other people. Now they're like, hold on, I need to get myself to wait a minute. That's what I'm talking about.
It's crazy seeing people's faces, how it changes when I start talking.
Yes.
Like, it is unlike anything that I have experienced before, and I'm loving it.
Beautiful. I love that. Most people are vague, you know that? Specificity is scarce. It's rare. So when we show up specific, intentional, clear, we automatically stand out. Automatically.
Right.
Automatically.
Yeah, because he was like, yeah, I know business owners who are frustrated with their websites, and and then he started like patting himself down looking for his cards, because I was like, I'm gonna connect with you on LinkedIn. So I'm like, I know exactly, I'm gonna put this in my CRM when I get home.
And then you know how rare it is for people to follow up? You become that person. It's like, I met you at this thing 2 days ago, and hey, and they'd be like, oh my God, she did. Hey, it's like, it's too easy to win this game, y'all. I'm telling you.
That's the thing. And I'm like, it's okay. So now that I'm confident talking to people, I just have to get their information. I don't even need to be on LinkedIn.
There you go.
All over the place like
that's
that.
it.
If I don't have to.
That's all.
I'll just get cards.
Just give me your information. Thank you. And then you bloop, bloop, bloop. And then you put them on the thing. And now they're getting value.
Yeah.
Now you're known to them. Now they're telling other people, you at the house, and they talking about, oh, I met this woman. Oh my God.
Yeah.
She inspired me. I need to get my life. I need to get my whole life. Our website is terrible. We need to call her. Like, they're at the house right now having this conversation. They're like, I'm calling our director.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm calling our executive director right now. We just had a meeting about you. They're going to be telling you that. Watch.
Right. That
We just need to bring Micaiah in. We just need Micaiah. That's what they're going to say.
Be there. Ready.
Yep. That's what happens when you make the shift. It's different over here, y'all. I want everybody making this shift. Okay, so y'all know what to do. You got an assignment. We're going to build this pyramid. Build your framework, okay? Define these 3-4 levels. Define like where they're at their lowest, first phase of progress, intermediate phase, the mastery or the dream, the end game. Then write it down. Write that down. Okay. We're defining the metrics. How do we define measurably at each stage what they're experiencing, symptoms at each stage what they're experiencing, and then an action. What do they have to do to get from that level to the next level? That's your framework. That's it. That's the specificity. Then if you could bonus round, if you actually turn this into a visual, either something that you can just draw out really simply as you tell the story, or you have it printed out, or you make a pyramid, or you go across page left to right or whatever. I already proved to you that the brain loves a visual, love a good visual. Okay, so if you can do that, it's just gonna make your sales a lot easier. And it also anchors. Again, words are containers for energy. Now, if we take that and visualize it, now it means something. The Nike swoosh, the Apple logo, it makes it real. It makes it real. Even if it's not real, it makes it real because you're anchoring it. You're anchoring that energy in something tangible, 3D. When you write something down, it is a photograph of the spirit. So the more you visualize it, the more if it's real to people. And they're like, it's easier for them to pay for something that's real versus like, I can help you. I'm very smart. Pay me money. It's like a big leap versus here's this thing right here. This is where you are right here. Let's work together in this time frame and we're going to get from here to here. Now it feels real to me. And that's a container that can hold that energy, that relationship between the two of you. And then they'll pay money because you've given them value and they reciprocate. So that's it. It's a sales tool. Y'all got this. Keep doing your big 5 every day. Everything that I've been teaching all these days, it's in the resource guide. So I think everybody saw that. I'll repost it for those who got here late. And if you want to get into the social media situation, it's ongoing. I mean, it's not like a timed thing, but y'all, okay, I'm waiting till tomorrow. No rabbit holes, no rabbit trails today. I will wait till my Thursday call. We don't have time. America's, we know it is over with. Civil rights bubble has burst. We need to speed up. And these are the tools that I'm giving you guys so you can intentionally speed up and not like hope I'm gonna make some money and no. This is what we do every day to be straight, no matter what they're doing out here. That's what I want for everybody. So take this gift. This is a gift. The social media class mastery thing, 7 platforms, demystified, democratized. You're welcome. So click the link. If you can't do the thing, just do a deposit. We'll figure it out. And any other questions? There we go. I don't know where my windows went. Okay. Anybody got questions? There we go. All right. Well, if all hearts and minds are clear, we'll be doing this again tomorrow. And, Thursdays I try to be shorter because we have to come back on Thursday night. And guess what? I told Spellman, nope, I'll see y'all tonight, but not Thursday because we already got class. So if all hearts and minds are clear, I will see y'all tomorrow. Until then, we got to go. I got to go. We're out. Oh, drink your water, mind your business. No, drink your water, mind your tea and grits, and build your business. Okay, we got to go. I'm out. Pew!
Bye.
Ciao.